Okay, in the news this week, we've seen a sudden influx of stories about inheritance tax. And some of these stories are pretty scary. They're saying things like taxes are set to double and twice as many families will be affected. What are they actually talking about? Well, in case you're not familiar with it, inheritance tax, or IHT, is a levy on the value of someone's estate when they die. This tax is only charged once your estate is above a certain level. Now, this is where the problem comes in. That certain level is frozen and is going to remain frozen for the foreseeable future. The value of the things we own keep going up and up. Property prices in the UK are at an all-time high. The stock market has rallied quite considerably. So people are becoming wealthier, but this nil rate ban for inheritance tax isn't growing. Now, the upshot of that is that people that previously weren't affected by inheritance tax are now finding that they will be, and people that were already affected are going to be affected far more. Now, the good news is there are things that can be done to reduce an inheritance tax liability and sometimes eliminate it entirely. Now, the key things to bear in mind are this. First of all, prevention is better than cure. It's much easier to stop an inheritance tax liability from occurring than to mitigate one once it's already there. So if you're thinking, well, this doesn't really apply to me because the value of my estate is under the relevant thresholds, now is the time to start planning ahead. The other thing is the earlier you start to plan, the better. Now, admittedly, none of us know when we're going to die. However, it's much, much easier to plan to mitigate inheritance tax for someone with a 10-year life expectancy than, say, a 5-year life expectancy. Someone with only a very short time left, for example, someone who's been diagnosed with a terminal illness, it can be nigh on impossible to make a difference. So the right thing to do is take independent advice, put yourself in an informed position and plan ahead.